NFL Power Rankings Week 5. The NFL Power Rankings, look, the season is shaping up. Before we get started, depending on where you're picking up, if it's a podcast, if it's on YouTube, I want you to comment below with your top 5. Just write it down there. As I always do, I start with the Get It Together screen. The teams, I have 4 teams on this list. The New Orleans Saints at 2-2. I was all ready to put the New Orleans Saints into my top 10 this week. All they had to do was beat the New York Giants. They couldn't get that done. Are you kidding me? They killed me, by the way, against the spread this week. Bovada has New Orleans at plus 3,000 to win the Super Bowl, which means that they like New Orleans just fine, but that's, I don't know, man. I was expecting more out of them. I had the Pittsburgh Steelers at 1-3. Look, they're one of my favorite teams in the AFC period. I thought they were a top 3 team in the conference. They're making me look foolish at this point. They cannot get anything going with the offensive line. Big Ben is banged up. The defense is fine, but my goodness, I'm not impressed with this new offensive coordinator. They're 1-3. They got to string some wins together. They cannot go 1-4 in this conference, even with the expanded playoffs. They're at plus 4,500 to win the Super Bowl. Seattle, at least they didn't lose last week, but they're still 2-2. Tough division. Big game coming up against the Los Angeles Rams this weekend. On Thursday Night Football. They're at plus 2,000 to win the Super Bowl, according to Bovada. Can they get it done? I don't know. Russell Wilson, I don't like to bet against him. It's going to be an interesting game. That's a big game. Suddenly if they're 3-2 and the Rams are 3-2, everything is back in business. And then lastly, the Tennessee Titans. They are the only team on this list that is a division leader. 2-2. Bovada has them at plus 2,500 to win the Super Bowl. They are improved, and yes, I know they lost, primarily because A.J. Brown and Julio Jones were out last week, but still, it's the Jets. Come on, it's the Jets. The next screen, the no soup for you. These teams, I know fans of these teams are going to have a gripe against me, but hey, tough luck. That's the way it goes. The Baltimore Ravens, 3-1. They're at plus 1,200 to win the Super Bowl. I don't really have a lot of bad things to say about them other than, hey, look, Detroit, that game was closer than it should have been. You need to execute on the opportunities. And they beat Denver, who is also on this list. They beat Denver primarily because Teddy Bridgewater was out. I don't know. If you're a Ravens fan, you think you would have won the game regardless. If you're a Broncos fan, you think the only reason that Baltimore won that game was because Bridgewater was out. Now, Denver, I think, has a bigger gripe against me and a fair one because, hey, the only loss of the season came when their quarterback went out. I love the defense. I have great respect for what Denver's doing. And if you think about it, they're probably the number 13 team on my list. That's not bad. 3-1, that's not bad either. Teddy Bridgewater will be back. This team is going to be full strength. In a while, they haven't been full strength, and at least defensively in seasons. Now they're putting it together. They're very, very good. They're underrated. They are still underrated, and I know they're underrated on my list, but it is what it is. You can only fit so many people into the top 10. In fact, the max amount of people you can fit in the top 10 is 10. The Kansas City Chiefs are next on my list, plus 550 to win the Super Bowl, according to Bovada, which I believe is either tied for first or definitely second. Now, here's the thing with the Kansas City Chiefs. They're 2-2. I'm not going to put a team into my top 10 who's last in their own division. Not going to get it done. Kansas City, huge game this weekend against Buffalo. Kansas City fans who are not happy with me for having the two-time reigning AFC champion in this top 10, I get it. But if you beat Buffalo, then we'll talk. If you're 2-3, you don't deserve to be on the list. If you're last in your division, you don't deserve to be on the list. Put it together on the field. Now, a team that has put it together on the field, the Cincinnati Bengals, plus 15,000 to win the Super Bowl. I get it, Bengals fans. I wanted so bad to give the Cincinnati Bengals a chance. Yeah, I just confused Cincinnati with Cleveland. I'm not winning any fans there. If I wanted to put the Cincinnati Bengals into the top 10, give them some love, I just couldn't do it. There are teams better than them, including, yes, those Cleveland Browns, the team that I did fit just above them in the top 10. And I got to be honest with you, coming into this week, I would have thought, hey, the Cleveland Browns are going to be way better or way higher than the number 10 team in the league. That just goes to show you how deep this list is. And I'm going to get into some different things and why I have these teams ranked where they are. But the Cleveland Browns, they're for real. I like everything about their organization. The defense is getting better. That's what I'm most excited about. The Cleveland Browns, a decent shot there to win the Super Bowl. Now we have the Las Vegas Raiders at 3-1, coming off their first loss of the season to the Chargers, quote-unquote away, although we heard the crowd noise in that game. I'm not surprised that the Chargers beat the Raiders. I think Raiders fans might be a little bit surprised at that, but the Chargers, I've felt for a while, are for real. The defense in Los Angeles, similar to Denver, actually, the defense for the Chargers has been hurt for years, and it's actually similar with the Raiders. The Raiders have been banged up for a while as well. Bottom line is this whole AFC West is good. The Las Vegas Raiders, I have 3 of them in my top 9. I have, 4 in my top 11. So this is a good division, everybody. The Las Vegas Raiders are for real. I say this every week, but I love that Gruden commits to the run regardless of who he has at running back. They are 3-1. Bovada has them at plus 3,300 to win a Super Bowl. They are a team that will more than likely get better as the weather gets worse. So that's a reason to like the Las Vegas Raiders. Carolina Panthers at number 8, 3-1, coming off a loss to the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, everybody, are better than you think they are. They had that opening week loss, a tough game actually, to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's the Dallas Cowboys' only loss. Carolina Panthers' only loss is to those Dallas Cowboys. They are a tough team. What I liked about Carolina, the reason I didn't drop them even a little bit further, what I like about Carolina is the fight that they had. They put it together, a nice fight. They played to the end of the game. I like that because Dallas is kind of running away. They were at the point where they're going to run away with that game. That didn't happen. Carolina came back, made it interesting at the end. Bovada has them at plus 5,000 to win the Super Bowl. Number 7 on my list, the Green Bay Packers. Another win for the Green Bay Packers, stringing things together against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Green Bay Packers now 3-1, plus 1,400 to win the Super Bowl. This is a team that can do it. It's just a matter of whether or not the defense can hold up their end of the bargain. I think they can, but we will see what happens. Number 6 on my list, the Los Angeles Chargers, moving up a bunch of spots. They are 3-1. Bovada has them at plus 3,300 to win the Super Bowl. I think that's a little too low. I think they should be in the 2,000s somewhere. The LA Chargers, they can run the ball. They can pass. By the way, I gotta take a step back. I think, was it Schefter on the Monday Night Football coverage? They were talking about Justin Herbert has the talent to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. First of all, every first-round quarterback, quote-unquote, has the talent to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. Look, I love Herbert. I love Justin Herbert. If you're out there and you buy cards, buy his card because I think it will appreciate investment. But can we not write checks before we have the money to cash them? Can we pause on the gold jacket talk? It's like his 17th game. He's awesome. I love him. I love the Chargers. The defense, as I mentioned before, they've been injured for like 2 years. They're healthy. They're formidable. I like the Chargers a lot. Don't get me wrong. I have him number 6 in this poll here. But let's pause a little bit. Andrew Luck. Remember Andrew Luck? Do you remember him? He's somewhere touring Europe with an injured calf right now. Let's just give him a couple years, please. But anyway, LA Chargers, a lot to like there. Number 5 on my list. Who beat the LA Chargers earlier this year? The Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys, I have to move up this list. They're good, man. McCarthy has this team moving the ball. The defense is getting better and better. I'm impressed by them. I didn't think the Cowboys were going to be as good. I always thought that the offense would be good. I had real questions about the defense, but they're hanging and they're putting away some tough teams. I think Carolina's good. They hung with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They beat the LA Chargers. They've had a pretty rough start to the season in terms of scheduling, in my opinion. And Bovada has them at plus 2,500 to win the Super Bowl. So Bovada even likes them a little bit as well. And I think that's a fair ranking for them. Dak Prescott, by the way, I know he gets a lot of flack, but he's better than you think he is too. Number 4 on my list, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 3-1. They survived the rain game. Brady survived a game against his old friends in New England. I'm not going to read too much into that game. Rain games are tough. Belichick is always good when he's, has his team ready to play when he's an underdog. Tampa Bay, their defense, like their secondary is just banged up. They're in trouble in their secondary. Teams that can pass the ball are going to give Tampa Bay just basically trouble for the next 4 to 6 weeks potentially. I got to be honest with you, like the Packers, I know they lost in the NFC Championship game. The Packers would have a good chance against Tampa Bay right now. The Chargers, good chance. Teams that can throw the ball. Dallas Cowboys, good chance. Maybe the Cleveland Browns, maybe not as good because they're more of a run first team. Maybe the Las Vegas Raiders, maybe not as good because they're a run first team. Teams that can throw the ball downfield are going to give Tampa Bay trouble for at least the next few games here, the few weeks. So just if Tampa Bay goes to 3-2 or 3-3 and all that stuff, don't freak out. I'm not going to freak out either. Number 3 on my list. Oh, by the way, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bovada has them at plus 500 to win the Super Bowl. Number 3 on my list, the LA Rams, 3-1, plus 1,100 to win the Super Bowl. Look, I like the Rams. They're getting it done. They're getting it done on the field. They got their first loss against the Arizona Cardinals. By the way, the Arizona Cardinals are going to be ranked ahead of them, and I think justifiably so. Kyler Murray is impossible to tackle. That's kind of where I come away from that. He's a small guy. I had questions about him coming out of the draft because of his stature, but man, he is just He's just so quick. I'm not saying he's not like, I don't think his top end speed is as good as Lamar Jackson's, but he is just so quick. I don't know what to do. Like Aaron Donald, like the defense is bearing down on him. He just steps to the left and steps to the right. He can't touch the guy. And then he has an arm. He's got accuracy. He's got a nice system. He's got weapons. But this is a Los Angeles Rams comment. So I'm not beating up on the Rams too much. I think the Rams could very easily split to take a game against the Cardinals on the road. I think, Kyler Murray is one of those quarterbacks you have to see in person to really kind of calibrate your expectations on him. The LA Rams, I am super impressed with their defense. The running game, they need to get a little bit better there. The passing game is going to be there most weeks. So again, they don't really fall too much. I think they were my number 1 team last week. Now they're number 3. Now my number 2 team are those Arizona Cardinals. Now, I struggled with who'd be my number 1 team. I thought the Cardinals, they're the only undefeated team on this list, I think, at this point, 4-0. Cardinals fans, bang on me right now. Comment below. Tell me why I'm such a jerk for not putting them in there. Not only that, but I have the Buffalo Bills at number 1. A team that the Arizona Cardinals beat last season, the last time that they played. I just could not put the Arizona Cardinals against the Buffalo Bills because I'm so impressed. Let me say this about the Arizona Cardinals. Their defense is a lot better than I thought they were. Bovada has them at plus 2,500 to win the Super Bowl, which again, I think is very, very fair. The whole thing comes down to Buffalo's defense is so much better than they were last year, and their offense is every bit as good as it was, maybe even better last year. That's Buffalo. Arizona Cardinals, they're better on both sides of the ball as well, don't get me wrong, but Buffalo's improvement in defensively, I think exceeds the Cardinals' improvement defensively. And I'll say this about the Cardinals too. I feel like they're an aggressive defense. They're an opportunistic defense. I wonder what happens when the Arizona Cardinals would play like a team like the Raiders, where the Raiders are just going to run the ball and just tire their defensive line out. Like the Cardinals, I think they're like I said, they're opportunistic. They're creating turnovers. They're doing great. They're great fantasy football defense. Are they a team that will match up well with a high-scoring team like the Buffalo Bills? I think that would be a field goal game on a neutral field. And let me be honest with you, if that was a Super Bowl matchup, I'd be happy as a fan. It's just you're really splitting hairs here. I took the 3-1 Buffalo Bills. I feel a little guilty because they have a blemish on their record, the Pittsburgh Steelers earlier this year. And the Cardinals, like I said before, it's impossible. It's impossible to tackle Russell Wilson. It's just Russell Wilson. I said that. I did the dirty. I said Russell Wilson. I meant Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is a faster version of Russell Wilson. I always say that as well. So there you go. Arizona Cardinals, number 2 on my list. Buffalo Bills, number 1 on my list. Bovada has them at plus 1,100 to win the Super Bowl. There you go. There's a list. Comment below. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? We'll catch you again soon.